It is Saturday, December 28th, 2024, 10:30 a.m. sharp. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Head Knocks Overdose Football Fix podcast. I am one of your lovely hostesses, the Garlic Johnson. We are joined, as always, by our other lovely hostess, the Joshua Mitchell. Josh, say hi to the two folks out there.
Hi, folks.
Hell
Gross.
yeah. We also appreciate other people in our Discord server, Mika and whoever else pops up from time to time. We also appreciate at Levi Oki Illustration for all the beautiful art he will be supplying. Walters, I'm going to need you to stop. And then we also appreciate Josh. How are you doing this morning, buddy?
I'm doing, Gar. I'm breathing.
Well, you know what? We're going to call that a great success.
Yep, that's a win. How are you, Gar?
But I feel good as well. Obviously, this week was Christmas, so we didn't do our Tuesday night show. That was Christmas Eve. And then I forgot about saying I could do it at the end of the week, and so here we are Saturday morning. Josh, accommodating me, I appreciate you. And yeah, feeling good. How was your Christmas, man?
Well, Odin had his surgery last Thursday, and so when he came home Thursday, he started whining at around. I'd say he started whining at about 5:15 when we walked in the door, and I think he stopped to be determined.
Still whining, eh?
Still whining quite frequently, and I think it's just because he's lonely. It's not necessarily pain. He's walking around on it, which is good. But I've been sleeping on a couch for the past week, and so that's okay, I guess.
Guess.
Overall, it was okay. Christmas Eve, we went to Nikita's parents. I got to open up some presents, and then I had to go home early so I could take care of the three-legged pupper. And then same with Christmas Day, we went, and I didn't get any Christmas meal, but I got to watch Asher open up presents, which was kind of the goal. And then I had pancakes for lunch, so it was kind of a win there.
Oh, nice. Kodiak?
Duh. And then Nikita, I told Nikita, okay, so what I want you to do is make me a plate, and then I want you to look at it and go, is this what Josh would want? And then I want you to add more. And so what she did was she filled up a casserole container, one of those 13x9 casserole pans with all of the food, and we put it in the oven, and then I ate most of it Christmas night for dinner. So it was still a good day. But then overall, yeah. How was your Christmas, Gar?
Good. I mean, for me, it was a pretty standard Christmas. Christmas Eve, go to the dad's sister's place. We just sat around, ate some beef. The Range and I, we have a little traveling cribbage trophy. The Range and I lost the family cribbage trophy. So, you know, what can you do? We'll hit him at Easter.
Whose fault was it?
What's that?
Whose fault? Who gave the opponent's crib 15?
Yeah, oof. I mean, there was the second game. There was not a lot of points, but certainly I put up more than the Ranch. So we're going. If we're going to blame a single person, we're going to blame the Ranch.
Jesse.
Yeah, exactly. So that was good. And then on Christmas Day, that's always the day I go hang out with me madre. Have cinnamon rolls in the morning. One of the most important parts of Christmas Day is cinnamon rolls. And then I took a little bit of a nappy poo. We opened some presents, and good luck, Walters. And then I've been working on my mom's husband for years, but like they always do the traditional like ham and like au gratin potatoes or whatever. Like, guys, ham's fine. No one really wants the ham. How about we just start our own tradition? Let's do something else. We can even stay on the same animal if you want. Let's start doing fucking ribs. Let's make our own Christmas tradition. Everyone loves when Glenn makes ribs. We don't need the ham. Let's do Christmas ribs starting this year and in perpetuity forever. And so we had some Christmas ribs, and I'm very happy we did that. And yeah, I'm hoping it's like that for years to come because Josh, you would say in pretty much every aspect, ribs are better than ham, right?
Almost every aspect, yeah. I'm actually quite fond and fine with Christmas ham.
Okay.
Because
you're big of a honey glaze guy?
Well, yeah, and then similar to Thanksgiving, the leftovers are always great. And leftover ribs, they don't strike me as appetizing and appealing than leftover ham because you can't really throw ribs on a bun. And so, yikes, you're in the same company as Walters on the ribs piece. Sorry. But no. I mean, yeah, Ribs, if they're good ribs, they're great day of. But if we're looking at like longevity of satisfaction, I'm going to go with ham.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Josh? Well, that's the great thing about America. We're allowed to agree to disagree. You're entitled to your opinion, and you're wrong, and I hate you. Now, hams are fine, but if maybe I've just had ham so many years, and I get less of the leftovers because I don't live there. It's just not the same experience for me.
Yeah, no, that's true. We always get extra leftovers because I think Bob
nice.
and Maria don't. I think Bob and Marie think that we don't know how to cook, so they just give us all these leftovers.
Well, what if I told them for a fact I didn't know how to cook? They think you guys don't. Well, what if I told them I can't? I'm inept.
They'd probably send you a weekly care package of various meats.
Thank you. All right, I'll get right on that. Hopefully, I can get that jam every so often as well. All right, Josh. Anything else you'd like to say about your past week, your past? I mean, at this point, like 10 days or so, your Christmas, or shall we move on a wee bit?
Just for those of you that are homeowners and/or parents, just how do you handle dealing with excess junk that accumulates over time? Because right now we have a basement full of stuff, and upstairs full of stuff, and we don't have any storage space for it. So I'm thinking about, we have this drainage runoff in the backyard. I'm thinking, we just have a little trebuchet and whoosh to most of the stuff we own, because it's getting ridiculous.
I mean, is it stuff you can get rid of, whether it's truly trash, or you can donate it, or I'm sure the church takes things. I know you guys are pretty active in your church community, or there's Facebook pages called like Buy Nothing, and then you essentially people just trade stuff because they don't want to have to sell it, or they'd rather reuse someone else's used item than buy something new.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we can do the donation piece. It's just a matter of getting through everything.
Sure, just the motivation to actually, sort through it and this and that.
Yep, that's kind of the big thing. But yeah, should we get into some football, since it's been a few games since we last spoke?
Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think all the way back to week 16 since we're already on Saturday of week 17. And there's already been, 3 football games, 2 on Wednesday, 1 today. But looking back to last week first, Josh.
2 football games. There have been 2 football games. I'm not counting that Thursday trash fest as a football game.
Well, it technically counts. But okay, so Josh, going back to week 16 still, it's the semifinals of the playoff for fantasy. It's also week 16, a lot of playoff implications. Any taco moves you've seen in fantasy, or any or we could just talk about the weeks in general. We don't have to do the taco bit if you don't want, but any notes, or let's just talk about your week 16 a bit, I guess.
Well, Brian Robinson, you are a taco and a half. Thank you for fumbling twice and getting me 0.1 points. Same with you, Josh Allen, and your 10-point contribution to my semifinal chance to repeat and deflate these balls. I want to go out and say that no one cares, Walters. But yeah, those 2 disappointments after having the Atlanta defense give me 29. I was going into those games pretty high and mighty, and then all of a sudden they just put up duds. Kenneth Walker got hurt. And then, Tyler ended up beating me to extend the Deflate These Balls League another at least 2 years. So congrats to Tyler. You ruined everyone's life. Maybe 3 years from now, I will have beaten everybody next year, and then the year after, and we'll be able to finally extinguish the league. I also lost to Connor because Jalen Hurts got hurt. And he had, and Jalen Hurts only put up 5. If Jalen Hurts would have put up like 15 to 20 like he usually does, I would have won, because he had the New Orleans Saints defense against Green Bay, who got -6 or something like that. And that would have been the swing difference. But nope. So I lost in both semifinals. But I am in 2 championships, Gar. Let's not get it twisted.
Was one of them the best ball league?
Nope. Because I think I don't even know if I made the playoffs in that league. I went like 2-12 because I looked at my roster at one point, and I think of the bench, if there's 12 bench spots, I think 10 of them were on IR.
Brutal.
But I am in the Champions Branch Out Championship and the Hidden Oaks Championship. Consolation Championships.
Okay, I was going to say, Josh, I'm literally looking at the Champs League right now, and I see Derek and Mr. The Sauce. I do not see you.
Well, I did want to go. I mean, I felt bad coming in last year and just taking it all, wrecking everybody. I figured I'd see what the lesser people are like, and I'd just take their championship away from them, so then I could still be a 2-time champion. Just have one big trophy and then one mini trophy.
Oh,
Because that's how it works, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. Yep. I mean, but I think in both leagues, if you're going to be in the consolation championships in any leagues, I know most people don't care. I know you've even talked about just getting rid of the consolation bracket at times, but you've got a chance to win, I think, $20 in each league. So, I mean, hey, you're not playing for nothing this week,
Exactly. Which would, if I win both of those, which I probably won't because it's me, then we're looking at about a break even on the year minus the 100.
Break even minus a big chunk of it. Excellent.
Yep. How are you, Gar? How's your fantasy leagues?
Overall, it wasn't fully the week I wanted it to be. So I was in 3 semifinals games, and I did win 2 of 3, but I'm a little melancholy only because the one I lost in was my most expensive league, and if there's one league you want to win or want to do the best in, obviously it's going to be your most expensive league. And that's the league where I have Josh Allen, and it's the league where you get 1 point for every 10 passing yard. 1 point for every 10 passing yards. And so Josh Allen put up 24 when his season average was like 50 something. And I only lost by 16. So it's a tough day at the office. Josh Allen, I know, let plenty of people down across the league. Or across fantasy. I had Saquon Barkley and Devon A-Chain try to do the very best they could to carry me still. But it's a quarterback heavy league, and if your quarterback does not perform, that's the way it goes. I had Sam Darnold on the bench. Sam Darnold, that was against Seattle week 16, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, 43 fantasy points. I never would have played Sam Darnold over Josh Allen, so I can't beat myself up about it, but it's also, it's disappointing. But Josh, I am, for the second year in a row, as I mentioned, I made 2 other championships. I am in the Hidden Oaks Championship League. I could go back to back, although it's not looking good. We can talk about that in a sec. And despite all your mock and despite all your ridicule for me tanking for years in a row, accumulating draft picks and making every advantageous trade I could, I have returned to prominence in the Hidden Oaks Dynasty League, and I am in the championship against the Connor that you lost to, that you mentioned before. Currently projected to win by 2 points. I've had one player play that got me 4. Obviously, projections don't really matter, but we'll see what happens.
Does he still have CD in his lineup? Because I know when he played me, he had his kicker on IR. So
he does have CD Lamb in his lineup currently, yes, which is great for me. Winning that league is a whole
shoves
like
that horseshoe.
$80.
Yeah, shoves that horseshoe further up his colon and somehow still pulls out the W.
Dude, bro, he not Eric, but Connor does have a way of getting quite lucky sometimes, doesn't he? It's crazy.
Yeah, he also gets unlucky because he has by far the best team in that league, just based on like star power. I mean,
he should have won it many moons ago.
Yeah, last year his championship roster was CMC, or he had CMC, Saquon, Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, CD Lamb, and he still lost. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, and then you mentioned Eric, who you are currently playing against fantasy, and looks like you had your sniper do some work on his roster.
I did, but at the same time, the snipers are really good at taking out single targets, and they're not good at taking over entire sections of a football team. He has already had the Ravens defense play, and in our league, the defensive scoring is a little bit different. The Ravens defense got 22 points for him, so I'm currently down 14-36, and it's mostly because of the Ravens defense, and I'm a little worried, Josh.
Well, who do you have as your defense?
I have the Chargers, who are playing New England, and I think on the bench I have the Bengals, who would be playing Denver, but Denver's been good, so it would be the Chargers.
Yeah, Bo Nix might get Rookie of the Year.
He might. Who saw that one coming way back at the draft? Certainly not me. Nope. We all mocked and ridiculed.
Yep.
But David Njoku is out, so hold on. You can say the things you're going to say. I need to make sure I fix that before.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I mean, he has Chuba Hubbard in his lineup, who's on IR, or who just got put on IR. CeeDee Lamb's out. Devontae Adams is questionable in a game in which means nothing for the Jets, so who knows? Malik Neighbors is questionable in a game that means nothing for the Giants, so who knows? So if those guys end up sitting, he's looking a little pathetic, is what the kids might say.
Yep.
But if we want to talk about the matchup that matters, me versus Garrett in the consolation bracket game, I'm just kidding. That game's going to be a poop fest too.
Poop fest, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, Josh, if you had to make a bold prediction, who do you think's coming home, Eric or I?
I think that just because the world wants to see people burn, it's going to be you. Back-to-back GAR champs is probably going to be, that might actually cause nations to consider
the rapture.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily that, but they might consider releasing COVID-22, which is 3 strains above that COVID-19, in which individuals just melt on the spot once they get it. And so they'll probably end up doing that because the size of the tattoo, the size of the tattoo that you'd get across your entire body it would just be, devastating to see.
Yeah, I get it.
And again, you might be the first person to lose the championship for the 5th time too, which would probably result in the same thing. It would just be a one-man army going against the world.
One-man army. That's one way to put it for sure. But okay. What about in the Dynasty League? You think Connor's going to swing it?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to go against the team, but like we said, he's not the luckiest person when it comes to these kinds of games. So I mean, he has some decent matchups. But I mean, AJ Brown is going to have, I guess Kenny Pickett targeted AJ Brown heavy last week. Jackson Smith and Jig Bud didn't do you so much, too many favors for the season that he's had. But I mean, you've got Kyron, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. I mean, it could be a close game. He's just got to remember,
just that his
Lamb's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, certainly if I lose and he has CeeDee Lamb in his lineup, that's just embarrassing. But you know what? It's more embarrassing to everyone else who lost to me to get there, How
about the since we have 2 of our fellow Dynasty League members in here, who's going to win between Dave and T?
Ooh, let me pull it up on the old computer screen here. What's the matchup?
I don't think. I think he took Jason Myers out, but I don't think he's going to get 29 from his kicker again like he did last week.
You don't know that for sure.
I'm not salty about that.
And everyone was absolutely flaming Dave Roden for his trade with me, and now look at him in the championship, dude. Okay.
I mean, it's still a terrible trade, but
Lamar Jackson already put up 30. That's nice. Jared Goff. Why is Jared Goff only projected 13? 14.
San Fran? At San Fran?
San Fran's, aren't they the worst team in the NFC West this year?
I don't know, but someone's at my front door because we got a Ring doorbell as a stocking stuffer, just as a trick kind of. Yeah. And the Ring doorbell's in our living room right now, not even on. So that's kind of creepy.
It's Odin saying, "Come fucking kiss my leg, bitch. I need healing." Oh, fuck. All right. Launches nukes. Dave, okay, so Walter says Roden's going to win. Al, if you're listening, I'd be interested what you think. But it's certainly... go ahead.
I would say that Dave has a better... he's projected more. He's projected to win by 20 at this point. So, whatever you think about projections, that's, Sleeper thinks he's going to win. But at the same time, I've never met a human being as lucky as Tyler. So I think that Tyler has the opportunity to win, and then I think Tyler has an opportunity to repeat because that's just what happens with Tyler when it comes to sports.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the projection is one thing, and it's obviously really nice in Dave's favor that he has almost 30 points. just from his quarterback, and then DK Metcalf and Nico kind of underperformed a little bit. But when Tyler has literally zero of his players have played so far, the projection doesn't really matter that much. Like, it'd be very easy for Jared Goff to put up 20, 25, one of these guys, one of these other guys to get a touchdown or two unexpectedly, and then, So I agree that I think Dave's in the advantageous position just because of the game Lamar Jackson had, but with Tyler having no one played instead of like a player or two who's already underperformed, he could easily smoke Dave. So it's just so tough. Cook, Jacobs, Jamar Chase, tough to overcome that. All right, so Walt is saying that about Dave, and then Al is saying he wants Dave to win. He thinks Dave will win. I don't know. I'm putting maybe my own inflection on that, but it sounds like Al, maybe similar to you, Josh, is not confident. Everyone, I think, is pulling for Dave, but they know the story of Tyler,
Yeah. Yeah. And Walters, you can go ahead and say that. It's fine. I do want this to be the annual reminder that Justin Jefferson in championship games when going against Green Bay Packers has a subpar performance. So if you have him in your lineups, feel free to bench him for somebody more worthy, like anybody else.
All right, I'll make sure we do that. Josh, obviously, I guess, is there anything else you'd like to talk about in the fantasy realm?
No, but for those of you who listen and actually take that advice, you're an idiot, and you still should play him. But yeah,
should play him just to get disappointed yet again.
Yep. I guess I don't have anything else to talk about in the fantasy realm. I'm waiting for the season to start. Obviously, this was a long preseason, and I hated it.
All right, so we got a couple games coming up today, Josh. 3 in total. We have the Chargers at New England kicking off here in about an hour. We have Denver and Cincinnati, which that could honestly be a pretty interesting game. And then we have Arizona and the Rams in a NFC West showdown. But we could talk about those games if we want. But obviously the game everyone wants us to talk about, all of our 2 listeners, we got to talk about the border battle coming up on Sunday, Josh. For a long time, the narrative has been, what the Vikings are doing and what the Lions are doing. Green Bay is, unfortunately, with their amazing record, is playing third fiddle because we have 3 really amazing NFC North teams this year. And I think I even posted a meme about it in the Discord. A lot of the Vikings fans have been talking about how amazing the Week 18 game is going to be with the Lions, because both teams control their destiny or this or that or whatever. But they were kind of overlooking or just assuming that Week 17 with the Packers would just be a slam dunk dub. And obviously, you and I both know that that's not true. Jordan Love and the boys have been cooking. How do you feel about the border battle? It's in Minnesota, so give that slight edge, slight advantage to the hometown team. But I'm not familiar with the line for this game off the top. I'll go look it up real quick, but I'll let you vamp for just a second. But what do you think about this border battle coming up with huge playoff implications on the line?
Well, I do believe that last year was in Minnesota, and that was kind of a thromping. They got thromped. I'm trying to pull it up here. Yeah, they played Green Bay. They lost 10-33. No. Yeah, 10-33. Is that what it's? Yeah, 10-33. Yep. So that was last year. A very similar roster, different quarterback, obviously. 2 years ago, they were at Green Bay, 17-41. They lost. But I mean, as far as 3 years ago, they were at Green Bay. They lost 10-37, Week 17. So Week 17, Green Bay is kryptonite. But at the same time, this is in Minnesota, so we'll give it a little bit more of a coin flip. I'm looking at how they played last year or 2 years ago in Minnesota, because I believe the previous ones were. Oh yeah, we played Week 1. Okay, so yeah, you guys beat us 2 years ago in Minnesota. I don't know. It is kind of up in the air. Like Alice said, the line keeps jumping back and forth. But it is, it's one of those ones where There's not a whole lot on the line for Green Bay because they've got their spot locked up in the playoffs. They can't take the division. And they really, it's just seeding purposes. So who knows what sort of effort they'd put forth. Obviously, they're not going to, lay on their backs and get belly rubs and just give in. But it is going to, I think it's going to be I hope it's a good game, competitive game. But who knows? If Paul Allen's in charge of that horn, it's going to happen after every offensive snap for Minnesota, positive or negative yards. I did see that Minnesota, that's probably the sound of his own fart, Paul Allen. But they've been getting a lot of flack on their subreddit about the fake snow that they pump in pregame. I guess it's been going on all year, but it's just now getting kind of through that Reddit sphere. And so I do want to go out on a limb and say that is actually not fake snow being pumped in through machines. That is actually just Paul Allen pregame, just dandruff going everywhere. So congrats to the fans that are pumped about that. At the same time, you're a Northern team calling yourself Winter Warriors, making fake snow indoors. Come on now, Sissy Sally's. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think it's exciting. I guess I didn't realize the full implications. So of like what the Packers seating situation was. I guess I have not been paying attention to the to whatever is lower than us in the NFC playoff picture. So yeah, I mean, with that with their spot pretty much locked up, it's interesting that they want to, I don't know, maybe they treat it like a preseason game and maybe have their guys play a little bit and then just, I mean, if there's literally nothing on the line other than playing spoiler, I guess I think they would probably feel pretty dumb if someone got hurt before the playoffs. But at the same time, I know there are plenty of teams that are like, who cares? We're going. I know Dan Campbell certainly would be the type of coach that would be like, I don't give a shit if there's nothing on the line. We're sending all 22 all the time. So yeah, I don't know. But so I mean, how would you feel? I mean, they would have already announced at this point if they were sitting guys. They're not sitting guys. But like, how much effort would you want the Packers to put in?
I mean, I want them to put in effort because it's still. I'm trying to find it right now. So while you were vamping, I was trying to see. Obviously, but right now they're only giving me like the stupid. Oh, who wins this game? Here, let's see. This article might be promising. Al, if you know, because you might know this a little bit more. I mean,
well, if you just want me to vamp a little bit longer, I don't know. Of course, the Packers are a team to be worried about. I don't think that I don't want to disrespect the Packers and call this a trap game, but I'm hoping that this sentiment outside the locker room is not the sentiment in the locker room. I wouldn't want all of us fans and players and coaches or whatever to be looking to week 18 and then just, as I was saying earlier, forgetting about week 17. I think that's a really easy mindset to be like, all right, we gotta beat the Lions, we gotta win the division, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and then you just overlook the Packers, and the Packers come in with a really solid game plan and a really talented roster, and they're just like, oh, you think so, huh? And then just shit on us. That's obviously the Packers are a good team, and I hate the fact that Jordan Love is so good. I hate the fact that you guys are appearing to have 3 generational quarterbacks, and I can't just, if there's one silver lining, I can't wait for the downfall of Jordan Love in his personal life, whether he's going to steal from welfare or hawk copper fit or stick crystals in his ass or make, his own documentary puff pieces. That Jordan Love is going to be very interesting, but, that's like 10, 20 years down the line. So.
Yeah, we find out he's actually just 3 midgets standing on top of each other with a trench coat.
That's got to be some sort of I don't know. That's got to be some sort of disqualification for the Hall of Fame.
Hang on here. They just have to, get 3 different spots.
There you go. All right, did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah. Al says that we can technically pass you in the standings if we win out and you guys lose out. So that might be something that they play for to get like a higher seed, but at the same time, that still just means the 5th seed's the highest we can go. Sure. So it's like, well, do we want the 5th, 6th, or 7th seed? So it's doesn't necessarily matter. Packers as a 7 seed, it'd be interesting because that 7 seed is always kind of considered like the worst game, that super wild card weekend, as they call it. It's just like, why did we add this? It's always a blowout. But that's technically, I don't think that's, oh yeah, that is technically true, I think, because the Lions beat you guys the first time through. But yeah, if the Vikings lose and the Lions lose, wait, Walters, are you high? Because Walters, if you guys are both 13-2, the Lions lose on Sunday, you lose on Sunday, and then you win next week, that's technically still division for you guys.
I don't know. Is Mercury in retrograde? How does that factor into this?
I think that, oh gosh, I don't know. My lunar calendar is not up to date.
I mean, less division losses is one thing, but if we literally have a better record, then that is obviously the first thing that matters.
Yeah, if you guys both lose this week, Walters, you'd both be 13-3. Next week, if you win, the Lions don't get a win too because you're playing the Lions. God, put this guy in a clinic somewhere.
He would like that too much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But okay, so the border battle will be a very interesting game. Anything else you'd like? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I do want to say that I think that we need to have a very long discussion with Chicago about embarrassing us as a division. We are one win away from the all-time best division in football. And I believe that with these final 2 weeks, there's only one game that would matter, and that's next week's Chicago game. Or no. It's the Lions. If the Lions win. But Chicago hasn't been pulling their weight. Like, the Lions need to win this week in order for us to be the best division in football, because next week it's 2 division matchups. So there's going to be losses regardless. It's going to be a break even. And we are 1 win away from being the best division in football history. In Chicago, you put up 3 points against Seattle. You held them to 6. Yeah. You held them to 6. Good job. But they doubled your score. You're terrible. Kick him. Throw him in the ocean. Bring back Tampa.
There you go. All right, Josh. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about on this beautiful pod, this lovely Saturday morning, or shall we let the people go on their way?
Yeah, we can let the people go. I took a pre-workout a little bit ago, and I'm starting to get that itchy skin. So
you're ready to bike, bro?
Yeah.
All right, well, Josh, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you accommodating the odd schedule on the holiday week. Is Tuesday New Year's Eve? I mean, that should still be fine. I'm not doing anything at 7 on New Year's Eve, 7:30, so that should work out fine, unless you have New Year's Eve plans with like church or something random like that.
No, I'm going to be hitting the bars downtown.
Hell yeah, brother. You and Ash are going to go troweling for ladies or what?
Yeah. Yeah, nope, not at all. I'll probably be in bed by 9.
All right, so yeah, so Tuesday should work just fine, just in a couple days here. Good luck to everyone else in their fantasy championships. Of course, I'll be pulling for myself. Josh, good luck in your consolations. Maybe you could have a total $40 swing your way. Al, I don't know if you're involved in any championships and not paying attention. I'll just assume Walt is not, though I have no access to the Victoria's Secret League. I don't know who did well or who did poorly in that league.
Neither of them made it. They both got eliminated in the playoffs.
Oh, well, they stink. I think Al.
I just want to let them know that I'm undefeated in the postseason in the consolation bracket in that league. I beat Glick 12-6, so suck it, Glick.
Nice. Al is also in the final 3 teams for the Guillotine League. As I mentioned, I believe I gave him his flowers last week just for playing in this league for 3 years and never being chopped once. So shout out to Al. He is again. He's currently in 3rd place, but the 3 of them over 2 weeks of fantasy are all projected currently within 3 points of each other right now. So that'll be a crazy finish once the games get going here. But yeah, we appreciate everyone for listening, and we have one more show for this year, at least, for sure. And that'll be show number 200. Maybe we'll do something special for it, but considering it's in 3 days, 4 days, we have not talked about doing anything special. Probably not, but who knows? Josh, go ahead. Oh,
I do. We're not.
Okay. I will very quickly. I didn't do the Hunger Games bit, and this is a bit I do for mostly myself. So let's celebrate our fallen comrades in the League of Record real quick. Today we recognize the loss of one Mr. and Mrs. Andrew and Jamie Hammer. We also recognize the loss of Josh's wife, Nikita Mitchell. May God have mercy on your souls. All right, nerds. Josh, go ahead and say go Packers, and we're going to get the hell out of here.
Go Packers. Yeah, Walters, you are dumb.
Oh, no. Poor Walt, dude.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go bike, and then I'll probably, I don't know, might watch football, might hop on the cod box. Helping out those poor souls that haven't completed Easter eggs is kind of fun.
Oh, nice, Josh. You go carry them boys through.
Yep. Love you all. Bye. Good luck on Sunday. Not. Go Packers.
What a troll.